Most people don't realize how important the menu on a website actually is. It can determine whether or not people find what they're looking for and end up calling you, or get frustrated and just leave your website. So let's talk about how to put the finishing touches on your website so that it can perform at its very best. Now, at this point, you should have the content uploaded into your website with nice headers and images, which is all great, but you still have a few additional elements that need to be addressed when setting up a properly optimized website. Like for instance, the header area of the site where the main menu is actually plays a really big role in how Google indexes your site. So if your page content is great, but your main menu area is just not set up correctly, then it's going to keep your website from hitting the first page of Google. And you don't want to get this far, put all this work into your website just to screw everything up with a silly menu. So to prevent that from happening, I'm going to walk you through the whole process of setting up your main navigation menu, your contact forms, and a number of other key elements. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so we have the template open here that we were using in the last episode. And so far you should have added in all of your titles as well as the core content in each section. And you should have your buttons set up with all your pictures uploaded. Obviously this is still the demo, but just for the purposes of showing you how this works, let's go ahead and take a look at the very first thing that we need to finish putting together in order to complete the website. And that would be the main menu bar up here. So you'll notice it starts with home. I would recommend you always have the home page as the first button so that people can always return to the home page at any point in time. And then you want your products or services to be the next thing. And then you can reorder these last few items as you see fit. But typically you want to have your product or service pages right towards the beginning. Now, if your products or services fall into different categories, then you might want to break this up into two different drop-down sections. So for example, if you were a dentist that did regular dental work as well as cosmetic dental work, they're sort of two different categories. And so you could break those up and have all of the regular dental work like cleanings, teeth fillings, all that sort of stuff. And then you could have a second drop-down that contains all of the information for the cosmetic dental services. So that might be things like bridges, replacing teeth, pulling teeth, all sorts of different stuff could go into that category. So that way you have them separated out. And the easiest way to explain how that works is when Google crawls this website, it has a robot that goes through the website and looks at all of these pages through this top menu here. So it'll basically click all these links and see what all these pages are about. So the easiest way to explain how to set up the services in your menu is with an analogy of a grocery store. So if you were to walk into a grocery store and the products were just scattered all over the place and there were no aisles, it would be next to impossible to find what you were looking for, and you would most likely just leave that store because you couldn't find anything, right? Well, your website is much the same way. And these columns, we call them silos. These are like the aisles of your store. And so everything needs to be within a set aisle that people can easily find things in. So if you have all the different pages of your website just randomly in your menu, then that would be like going into a grocery store with no aisles. People are going to get confused. They're not going to know what's going on. So it's really important that you order the pages in your menu in such a way that everything's in the same category. So like I was saying before, if you had cosmetic dentistry in one column and then another column that's completely separate might be regular dentist services, so teeth cleaning, teeth fillings, all that kind of stuff. And then for the rest of these items, you just go ahead and add the pages that correspond to each of these pages here. But let's actually take a look at how to edit the pages that show up in your main menu. So to get to the actual menu section, in the back end of WordPress, you just go to Appearance and then Menus. And you'll be able to select the different menus to choose from. So for this one, we're going to look at the primary menu, which is this very top menu up here. And we can see all the different tabs here going down. And to edit or change one, you just click this little down arrow, and then you'll see this URL section here. This hashtag basically is just a dead link, so it's just mimicking a link. So you would essentially just delete that and put in whatever page it is. example.com/about. And then you just scroll down and click save. And then that will save the menu, which I'm just going to revert this back to the way we had it. And then once you save the menu, it will appear up here. So basically all you do is you go in and you just drop the links in for each of these pages, click save, and then your menu should be fully set up at that point. Now let's talk about how to update the phone number and email on your website using this template. So to go ahead and edit those two items in the header, we'll just come to the back end of WordPress and we'll want to find the Divi option here and then click on Theme Customizer. And this is going to open up a bunch of the different theme settings, like it'll allow you to change colors and all sorts of different stuff within the website. And then you just want to navigate to Header and Navigation, and then Header Elements. And then you'll see the two sections here where you can input your own phone number as well as your email address. And then you'll just click Publish. And then when you come back and refresh the page, you'll notice it'll change the phone number and the email up here. Okay, so the only other thing in the header that needs to be changed is the logo. Obviously you don't want to use this example logo here. So to edit the logo itself, you'll want to come down to Divi, and instead of the Theme Customizer, you'll want to go to the Theme Options section. And then the first option here is your logo. So all you do is click this Upload button. That'll allow you to select your logo, and then it will paste the URL in here, and then you just click Save Changes. And then that will update the logo that you have listed here. So that pretty much takes care of this main header section up here. We've got all the elements taken care of: the menu, the logo, the phone number, and the email. And now we need to make sure that these contact forms are set up properly so that you receive emails when people actually fill out the forms. So to edit the form, we'll just come over here to Caldera Forms and then click on the Forms option here. And then click Edit. And then we want to choose this Email tab up here at the top. And this gives us the ability to edit and change where the submissions are being sent. So right now, it's going to say that this is the person who sent the form. The from email is going to be the sender of the email. But the most important thing is the email recipients. So you'll just add your email in here and then come down. Well, actually it's up here. So then you'll click this Save Form button right here. And then that's going to save the email into the form so that when somebody goes and fills out this form on your website, it actually sends that response to you via your email. And then once you have the contact forms set up, then you'll just need to finish setting up the footer area of the website. So let's navigate to Appearances and then Widgets. So the widgets make up this footer section down here. And it's pretty simple. It's kind of like the main menu where you just click these drop downs and you'll see all of this information appear here. And so you can add in your own URL for your logo. You can edit this text, and then once you've done that, you just click Save to save that. And then for the navigation, it's just a matter of setting up a menu and then selecting which menu you want to have listed here. So this is essentially the same as the main menu up at the very top here. If you notice, it's got pretty much all the same items. And you want to do that so that if people make it to the bottom of the page and they didn't find what they're looking for, they don't need to scroll all the way back up to the top of the website to keep looking around. They can just jump off to one of these pages. And then we have the actual services listed out here. Same thing. That's just another menu item here. So the services footer menu. And that can, again, be changed to anything. And then just click Save. And then you have the contact information. So you can go through, replace this with your own information. Just keep in mind that these are links. So if somebody on a mobile device clicks this telephone number, it'll actually call. So you'll need to change this text and then also change this here. And same thing for the URL or for the email. You need to edit the email location so when somebody clicks it actually sends to your email address, and then you'll want to change it so that it reads properly here. And then you want to update your hours of operation and then just click Save. Once that's done, you should have the footer all set up and ready to go, as well as your contact forms and your header. And that's pretty much it. Now you should have your website in a state where you could go ahead and take it live. People would be able to get a hold of you through the contact forms, as well as your phone number and email that are listed in the header and footer. So that's it for this video.
Hey, thanks so much for sticking around to the end of this episode. I hope that you got a lot of value out of it. If you did enjoy this episode, then make sure to tune into the next episode where we're actually going to show you how to add what's called metadata to your website using the Yoast SEO plugin, which is going to help boost your rankings in the search results, as well as increase your click-through rates, and really just help drive a ton of highly targeted traffic to your website. All right, I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.